right, please make sure that you have your formula sheet in front of you that you got for the previous video. So now we are looking at a cone. So the formula for a cone is really similar to the formula for a cylinder, because it is based on the formula for a cylinder. So we'd have pi times radius squared times height. So that's our cylinder, and a cone is a third of a cylinder. So we divide that by 3. Another way you can think of this is pi times the radius times the radius times the height, and then divide by 3. So first thing you are going to do is multiply radius times radius times 3.14, our estimate of pi. Then multiply by the height. And then we divide by 3 because it is 1/3. Now, if you were to find the radius, first thing you would need to do is multiply the volume times 3. Then you would divide by the height. So I'm sort of just doing the opposite of what I have over here. Instead of dividing by 3, we multiply by 3. Instead of multiplying by the height, we are dividing by the height. Then instead of multiplying by 3.14, we divide by 3.14. And since we don't actually know the radius, we can't divide by the radius, but we take the square root. That tells us what number times itself gives us that value. And you should have that symbol over here from the previous video. So find the volume of a cone with a radius of 3 centimeters and a height of 12 centimeters. So radius times radius, and then we're gonna multiply by 3.14 and then multiply by 12. 3 and 3, so 3 times 3 is 9, times pi, 3.14 is 28.26. Then we are gonna multiply by the height, so times 12, which gives us 339.12. And then the last step, since it is a cone, we divide by 3. So really right here, that's the cylinder. And then a cone is a cylinder divided by 3. Which would be 113.04 centimeters cubed. All right, next one, find the radius of a cone if its volume equals 31 millimeters cubed and it has a height of 3 millimeters. So I'm just gonna highlight height there. So I have the volume, so I'm gonna take 31 times 3, which is 93 millimeters cubed. Then I'm gonna divide by the height. So I'm gonna divide that by 3, which actually will get me right back to where I started with, which is 31. Then I'm gonna take 31 divided by 3.14, which is, I'm gonna round this, approximately 3.29. And now this is where I take the square root. So what I'm gonna show you on the calculator is, I've got my calculator here. I'm gonna type in 3.29, and then it's the button right here next to the division symbol. I'm gonna hit that. This number is my square root. So if I multiply this times the exact same thing, I would get 3.29. So I'm gonna write that my radius is about 1.81 millimeters. So I'm just rounding that, rather than typing all that in, I'm just rounding it to 1.81. All right, head back to the Desmos activity.